Hey,
Oh, hey there.
I've almost forgotten what we're doing and how to do it.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Unfortunately, I only picked up that in arigato.
Arigato.
It's harder than you think because it's like Italian. It's like, who knows the most Italian? Buongiorno. Like at least, a few words or French, but that's really all I gathered while I was there.
Japanese isn't a language you just like pick up.
No, I wouldn't say. A very nice man that lived there told me that Japanese is hard for even Japanese people.
You just say, Moshi Moshi.
Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dayna Cathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
everyone there is very kind.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Were you so impressed with how clean Tokyo is for like being a huge city? It is so clean.
Couldn't believe. And I was arguing with my sister, as I do. And I was like, it's the biggest city in the world. And she was like, no, it isn't. And I Googled it. By population, it is the biggest city in the world. And it's massive. Sometimes you're on the train for an hour and you barely get to and fro. Couldn't believe how clean it was, how nice everyone was. And I sound corny saying this because I feel like influencers go there and say this, but the trash can thing is so real and so frustrating.
I was just about to bring that up. They have no public, so you have to carry your trash. If you have something to throw away, you got to like just carry it with you until you can find a trash can.
It's with you for the whole day. And we got back and when LAX went out to go to our car and there was a trash can right there. And I was like, oh, I love luxury. I love being home. But how they maintain it being so clean with no trash cans, I think it's just a respect thing in their culture of like people just would not litter.
There's a lot more respect and how like people, how quiet people are in public spaces. Like if you're on a train, it's crowded. People aren't yelling and screaming. They're often silent. They're keeping to themselves. It's not like it's so culturally like different in that capacity that I wish it was like that more here. But there's some things that keep the trash can.
No, it's absolutely, and the quiet thing
Yeah.
is so amazing. Like the bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto, you could hear a pin drop. I said this on a TikTok, like making fun of it. And even like Katya is sitting next to me because I have to listen to my music at full volume. My headphones always like, boop, 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 you're going to lose your hearing. And I'm like, well, that ship has sailed. So I was like insecure about how loudly I was listening to Nickelback or whatever it was. Like I was on my divorced dad playlist. And I was like, everyone's hearing this, but we got through
This
it.
is how you remind me.
Absolutely.
Like, someone's 6 rows back. They're like,
they're probably like singing it in Japanese. I bet they loved it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Really.
I was the personality hire of the train.
So what was like the best part? Like what was the moment that stands out to you from your trip?
But that's hard to choose from because you're right. I like absolutely loved both of them, but Tokyo and Kyoto are very different. And you were right. I'm so glad we went to Kyoto. Kyoto is probably my favorite part of the trip. My favorite thing we did, and Mara actually recommended this to me because she did it too, was the geisha tour.
I wish we had.
If you are going to Kyoto, do not miss the geisha tour. So I didn't know what it was and we got to our tour guide and shout out Ken's tour. This isn't an ad. We paid for this. But I want to support their business because they were so incredible. They were like, okay, this is going to be a 3-hour tour. And I was like, oh my God, because we had already been walking so much. We did 18,000 steps the first 3 days every day. And I know that doesn't sound that crazy.
No, it is. That's like a full Disney day. That's an 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. day at Disney.
Yes. And my average thing is like, girl, are you okay? You usually walk 720 steps a day. Like, what do you do? When I got back, the day I got back, it said I walked 1,400 steps. And I was like, I didn't stand up. So where did this number? That whole thing is a Ponzi scheme. So anyway, the first hour and a half, they take you around the Gion district and explain, like, I didn't know anything about geishas and their actual history. And it's just such a rich culture. And our tour guide was so incredible. She'd only been doing it for a month. She was so sweet and really funny. And I was so engaged with everything that she had to say. I was like, is this what happens when you turn 30? You will like love a tour all of a sudden. Like I was genuinely enjoying it. And then the coolest part is we got to sit with a Mako geisha, which is those are the younger ones that are still in training. And then Geiko are the ones that have had their 6 years of training plus apprenticeship. These girls go from middle school to choose to go into this training. So she was 17 and had been doing it for 2 years already. Wow. So we got to sit with her. They had us take like photos and videos of her and with her and just asked us not to post them. So I have those, I'll show you. But it was just so cool to hear from her. Like we all sat in this little room on the floor and this tea, it was this citrus. I can't even explain to you the flavor of this tea. We asked them, we're like, can we buy this anywhere? And they were like, no, we make this in-house and it's secret recipe, which I understand, but it was one of my favorite
We're
things.
like, I just want some.
No,
so like, I don't need to know your recipe. Can I get it?
I'm like, I promise I won't tell anyone. I'm a steel trap. I just have a podcast. I'll keep it to myself. So we are having our tea. She comes in and sits down. If you've ever watched this podcast, you know how much I fidget because my legs go numb. So you stay in one position like a statue, like pretty much the whole time. And I'm like all over the place, head on the seat, whatever. And so my leg went numb and I wanted to be respectful. So I was like really scared to move. And she comes in and sits down and they're very formal and they're very traditional. And one of the gals who was on her tour pulls out her like professional camera to take some photos. And she goes and smiles and throws up peace signs. And the whole room laughs. And she like laughs with us because cause she's a young girl, like we, still like so young, but it was really interesting to ask her questions through our guide who translated and just to hear her stories and why she was doing it and what she thought about things. They don't have social media. They don't even have cell phones until their Geiko level after they've done their 6 years of training. So each night in that district from 6 to midnight, you see geishas going from theater to theater because they perform at multiple theaters. And super interesting, the people who go to the theaters, it's grandfathered in. So tourists cannot just like go to the theaters and watch their shows or random people that even live in Japan. You have to know someone who knows someone, which is really cool. It's like this very
exclusive club.
It's like Soho House. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, it's much more special than that. It was just so cool to learn about and experience. And she did 2 traditional dances for us. And I just thought it was so special and really interesting. And
I think that kind of stuff is like fascinating to me because you're never going to learn about that in that capacity unless you're actually physically there.
Totally.
That's an experience that you cannot get anywhere else in the world.
And that was the only tour that we did. And there's only, back in the day, there were 3,000 geishas and now there are only 202 geishas in Kyoto. So it just felt like such an honor to be sitting with her. And I'm like, maybe I should be doing more tours because for the most part, when I travel, I just wing it. And the rest of the time we were on our own. But
there's not many places I go to that I would want to spend time on a tour, like that I haven't already read about, learned about in school, or like, so that's something that like is such
very special.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Well, technically you did 2 tours because you also did the go-kart.
So we did the go-karts. So I was thinking about you the whole time because
how I got left behind.
So yes, and that happened a couple times, but I wasn't in the caboose because of you. They were giving us our numbers and I was like, number 1, like wasn't shy to say that. But then we took the train there and you had to be there 15 minutes early. And there was a little bit of a cluster that morning and we had some confusion. We were told the time was different than it was. So we were lucky that I remembered that I was like, no, I think it's at 10, but on our itinerary, it said 11. And so we luckily were able to get it figured out. But we missed the first like 3 minutes of the movie they show you about how to drive the cart. And I was like, okay. And I was the first one. So it took me a second to get used to driving it. But then once you do, you're totally comfortable. And we were like NASCAR.
Isn't it just weird how you're driving like on the street with the other cars, like trucks and like it's, there's some regular sized vehicles there. It's not like.
I was next to a semi at one point. What are you talking about?
That's what I mean.
And the fact that maybe we just don't hear about it the whole time, I was like, how have they never had a Sentinel event? Like, I can't imagine that something wouldn't happen.
I think if they did, they probably would not be allowing anymore. But I think, it's hard to like, you're not driving on a freeway, like we're high speed, but you're in traffic. It's a little freaky.
It is, but it was a really cool way to see the city. And there was this time we were coming over this bridge that I was just like, I feel like I'm in a video game right now. Like, I can't believe we're allowed to do this. I did get really cold at the end of it because we got pretty lucky with the weather while we were there. Like I saw yesterday in Kyoto, it was snowing and we had a couple like warm days, but didn't even need jackets.
Okay, yeah.
So that was like the main thing, but that was really fun. I really loved Shibuya Sky, which again, it's like, okay, this is a touristy thing, but you go to the top and the view of the city of just your brain understanding how big, because sometimes you get bigger and it looks like more rural or whatever, and it's just like city as far as the eye can see. So I really loved that.
Did you go to Tokyo Tower?
We saw it.
You saw it. Okay.
Another reason I thought of you, I was like, I don't need to see every rock and tree here. Like we definitely walked past things and made it a point. Like there were temples we wanted to see, and Fushimi and Nara. The morning we left Kyoto, we were like, we haven't seen that, and we went and did it, and we're really glad we did because it was so cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw Tokyo Tower, but we didn't go in because we did Shibuya Sky. So we were like,
we didn't do that, but we did do Tokyo Tower. And it was really pretty because it was right before like Christmas time. So there's like Christmas decorations and they give you like champagne. And so it was like if there's a drink at the top, sign me up.
Oh, I'm going for the cocktails. Before our geisha thing, we were actually seeking pure matcha. So we were being good girl. but they had liquor as well. So I obviously got cocktails with matcha and the food. I know, again, it sounds corny because everyone I think knows this about Japan. Italy for me, I think will always be number one because the food is just like my favorite, but it rivals Paris for me as the best food I've ever had in my life. And it is shocking how you can go into anywhere and get the best meal of your life. And it is so affordable in comparison to Los Angeles. It's actually shocking. And like the quality is there. And vacation season is nearly upon us. And baby, we are traveling.
We are living, we're laughing, we're loving, and we are in fact traveling. And you know what the best part of traveling is?
Don't tell me. Travel fits?
Travel fits. You got it. And if you're looking for the best place to find luxe upgrades to your spring wardrobe, look no further than Quince's high quality travel essentials at fair prices.
Lightweight European linen styles from $30, washable silk tank tops, and comfy lounge sets? Sign me up. Plus, Quince has premium luggage options and stylish tote bags to carry it all in.
But you want to know the best part?
What is it?
All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us.
And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Love. I bought my Mongolian cashmere crew neck sweater, and let me tell you, it's the best piece of travel wear I own. Comfy, cozy, chic. What's not to love?
For your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades you deserve from Quince. Go to quince.com/disrespectfully for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/disrespectfully to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/disrespectfully. I've struggled for years to find the right skincare product for me, and I'm fed up with products on the market labeling themselves as clean or non-toxic, yet their ingredient list is so alarming.
Some skincare products are just like men, filled with lies and leaving you covered in hives. But fret no more. Purity Woods is here with a mission to provide people with the cleanest and most effective healthy aging and longevity products available.
Their age-defying Dream Cream is a game changer. It will make you look and feel you've jumped back years in time. Its powerful formula contains revolutionary maple leaf extract plus over 25 unique and potent ingredients that eliminate fine lines, wrinkles, age spots, and uneven skin tone.
It was formulated by skincare chemists at the top of their field to create a product that supports collagen and elastin production without irritation, drying of the skin, or hormone disruption. Because I hate when my hormones are disrupted. Hormones.
If you're ready to detox your skincare routine of those hormone-disrupting synthetic chemicals that plague 99% of the skincare industry, but you don't want to compromise on results, I highly recommend you try out Purity Woods Age-Defying Dream Cream. And if you don't agree that it's the best skincare you've ever used, your purchase is protected by a 60-day happiness guarantee.
With every order, Purity Woods makes a donation to One Tree Planted, an incredible nonprofit that plants trees in in-need areas such as forests affected by wildfires. So not only are you doing a fantastic thing for your skin and your health, but you're helping plant a tree where it's desperately needed, which is amazing.
Honestly, I have never seen a skincare product of this quality at this reasonable of a price. And thankfully, the good people at Purity Woods have a special coupon code specifically for our listeners. So you can try it for yourself for 27% off today. Just go to puritywoods.com/DRF or enter DRF at checkout.
That's PURITYWOODS.com/DRF or enter DRF at checkout. If you go to Tokyo, you need to go to Ginza and go to Ginza Sand. It's this little filet sandwich that was by far the best thing I had while I was there. That was shocking how good it was. I will say most places don't take reservations, so we did a lot of waiting. Like for a good meal that a lot of people knew about, we were waiting for like an hour, but it was worth it, so stick it out.
You could walk into any ramen place and it's fucking the best. I love how you like order at like a little like vending machine, basically, or kiosk. And then like you could just go sit down. It's, I don't know, it's so cool.
Well, one of my favorite places, hold on.
Did you go to Golden Guy?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So cool.
Isn't that just such like a wild experience? Those, like, if anyone doesn't know, Golden Guy is like a little section of Tokyo where it's like these little alleyways and there's bars just like stacked on top of each other. And a lot of these bars only fit like 4 people. at a time. Some are like maybe 10, but they're little closet bars and they're just all piled on top of each other. And some have like karaoke, and it's such an experience. Like again, somewhere that nowhere else in the world has that.
No, it's the density at which these little places are stacked. I said it reminded me of something out of the Labyrinth or something, like, because you just go in and out. And we made like 5 laps because we were having a hard time choosing which one. And the one we went to was so fun. It was local. Like, I don't think that they loved even tourists being in there, but they ended up being super nice. And the gal who was serving us had the coolest nails. She had like croissants and waffles, like giant. Yeah. And then one girl had a rabbit dildo on her nail, and then like all these other things, and I was like, and a liquor bottle, and I was like, who are you? I love your nails. So that was a really fun, unique experience. Really glad we made time for that. But yeah, the food was crazy. I will say, for the most part, bars do not open till 5, like across the board. So I know there's a huge drinking culture, and you guys, the smoking, we have to talk about it.
Yeah,
I discovered
there's like smoking sections everywhere.
But they're very strict. So people are not just walking and smoking.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you have to find a corner with a little smoking area.
And sometimes it's hard to find. And one day I was overstimulated and very tired from travel and was grumpy and was just like not feeling it. And I couldn't find us. Every person kept directing us here, and then they'd say go here and here. And I was like tapped. I hadn't finally found it. Had my cigarette. It was in like the 10th story of a building, and I left.
There's a lot of bars that allow smoking inside, though, which is crazy.
Well, and Golden Guy, they started smoking, and I was like, oh, I'm among my people. So I had 2 things in terms of cigarettes there. One were just regular menthols that were the best menthols I've ever had. They literally was like a stick of gum. Then Allie texted me and was like, you need to find blueberry menthol cigarettes. It's like a Camel Crush, but blueberry menthol. And I was like, excuse me. I bought a pack for myself. For my souvenir, I bought packs for all my friends who smoke. I'm not going to put on blast on this podcast, but that's what I like. I brought back for friends and family, either Kit Kats, blueberry menthol cigarettes, or those face masks. Depending on who you are, you got whatever. They are the most delightful, fabulous thing I can possibly imagine. And in terms of just how I love to go somewhere else and smoke, I mean, it was one of the highlights of the trip for me.
That's exciting.
It's like geisha tour and then the blueberry menthol cigarettes. But yeah, it was so special. And I'm really glad that that's where we chose. And me and Katya had a lot of fun together. And, actually, speaking of car accidents and go-karting, did I tell you I got in a car accident the morning I left?
No.
Okay, so I don't think I like told anyone. So the day we left,
it's 11/11, Make-A-Wish.
So the morning that we left, I had Katya follow me over to Floors because we couldn't leave her car for 2 weeks on my street because street sweeping and whatever, and Floor doesn't have that.
Oh.
So I sent her the address. I was following her over there. I'm on the freeway. It was luckily traffic-y, so we weren't going very fast. But the gal, I saw her kind of not paying attention and kind of she wasn't following the flow of merging. And so I got in front of her, and I remember thinking I should have just let her go. And we're going, and 2 seconds later, bam, she rear ends me. Which, mind you, yesterday I saw 2 massive accidents on the freeway. So I was like, I got out. She was super sweet, but she gets out of the car and goes, I was looking for my chapstick. And I was like, wish you would have been looking at the road. But I was immediately like, totally fine. Are you okay? Like, it's, she smushed my bumper, but it's, it's just annoying more than anything. And like, could have been worse. So I'm like, we're both fine, whatever. But when that happened, I was like, please don't let this be the tone of the trip. And luckily it very much wasn't.
No. Doesn't count before you leave.
No, it doesn't. So, and then last time I lost a precious family heirloom. So I was like, you know what, could have been worse. And I don't have any more heirlooms to lose. So I am feeling good. And when I got back though, I luckily slept on the way there. I got this, have you heard of the turtle neck pillow? So I got it. I think it was good, not great. It was good. I was waiting for it to be great, but I did sleep for like 3 or 4 hours. I also took a Xanax on the way there. So I did sleep, but on the way back, did not sleep a wink. And when we got home, it was 7 a.m. And when we landed in Tokyo, it was 4:45 in the morning. So on both ends of the trip, we had a really hard time with the adjustment. So when I got home, I took a nap waiting for Laszlo, intending on it being like an hour-long nap. And 7 hours later, I got out of bed and was like, fuck. So for 48 straight hours, I was on a bad cycle. And then yesterday, I forced myself to get up at 9, so tired, and like went for a walk.
Yeah, you have to like force yourself to like get back on time, because that adjustment is so hard. Coming back from Tokyo, coming back from like Fiji, where it's like a day and a half ahead, like you feel like crazy.
Insane.
Like,
you feel crazy. And so last night, I also drugged myself with NyQuil and a Benadryl, and I had allergic reaction one of the nights. But luckily, I always travel with Benadryl because of this. I am the allergic reaction queen on vacation. But luckily, Benadryl helped it. And I was telling Kate last night, I was late today because I was so tired and I was finally sleeping. And someone's car alarm was going off for, I shit you not, 2 hours straight intermittently. So that was really annoying. Quick tips if you are going to Japan, get a Suica card. That is for local metro. I was kind of confused by this. It goes in your Apple Wallet. You just click it. It's super easy to use. The JR line is for cross-country travel. So that's what we took for going from Tokyo to Kyoto. Someone online was like, you need a ton of cash. The only place I used cash at was Nishiki Market in Kyoto. Other than that, and one place in Kyoto for ramen. But other than that, everywhere took cards. So you're good. And then there were like 6 other tips I meant to tell you guys and I didn't write them down. So if they come to me, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, you just went on vacation too. Tell us about it.
I went to Hawaii with Nick and it was so nice, so relaxing. We just wanted like a proper vacation. Because I always say like there's trips and then there's vacations. Like trips, like you went on a trip.
Yeah, I went on a trip.
I want a vacation where it's just relaxing. There's no like agenda. There's no like there's loose plan, but the plan is just to like lay by the pool, go to the beach, have some cocktails. Like that's exactly what we did. And it was like the weather was really great. Because in Hawaii in the summertime, it can get like very humid, very hot, really like it's a lot. This time there wasn't like no humidity. It was a little windy, but other than that, like the weather was so it was so nice because I've been talking about how cold I've been. I'm like, I just want to be in the sun. And you know what I don't do when I'm in the sun? Complain about. Like I'm just like, oh my God, I'm sizzling and it feels so good. And you just go dip in a pool and then you're fine. When you're freezing, I'm just like, I cannot get comfortable no matter what I do. So anyway, but yeah,
the water there is bath water.
A little cold right now, but
was it?
It warms up.
It's March, yeah.
Yeah. But and then we like rented a car one day to like drive around the island. We went up to the North Shore where they have like those trucks with like the garlic shrimp, the shrimp trucks and things like that. And it's so yummy and like just kind of like had a like breezy day driving around. We went to Buzz's and Kailua or Lanaka. I don't remember what it is, but like I love that. That's probably my favorite part of that island. Even though we stay in Waikiki, but it was lovely. I just had such a good time and just kind of hanging out and going get shaved ice, having Mai Tais, coconut mojito. But yeah, so like that, Hawaii is the one place where I feel like I'm never ready to leave.
Totally.
Like there's so many times, and I like will go on trips for like a week and like that's plenty. Like when you go to like Tokyo, you have to go for like at least 10 days, but I like these like shorter trips. They're just easier to pack for, easier to leave. But with Hawaii, I'm kind of like, I could stay here. Like
totally.
Yeah.
I need a trip next. I need a vacation next. Like I've done so many trips back. I'm grateful, very lucky to be doing them. But yeah, I was jealous of your beach situation. I felt like I could have done 2 more days in Japan.
Because there's so much to do there.
So much to do.
And you have to like kind of like pick and choose what you're going to do that day. And then you're just like, God, I wish we could have got to that. But yeah, no, I felt bad. I got a little tan. You probably can't notice it, but I am.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I also got burnt.
You looked a little red in one of the photos you sent. I was like, she putting her SPF on? Or
yeah, no, like my arm got like a little burnt. And my leg got
nice now.
Look at that.
Look, yeah, I see the tan.
I look at Nick and after 5 minutes he's just like dark. And I'm like, God, I'm just so jealous of that skin. But we had such a good time. It was romantic. It was relaxing. It was chill. And I'm back here.
Well, Hawaii is similar to Japan. Okay, wait. I haven't even talked about 7-Eleven.
So how can we not talk? Well, first let's do Daddy List.
Let's do
and then we can talk about 7-Eleven because it's called 7 Heaven, I mean.
Well, it was heaven. Like gas stations in Hawaii, you can get great poke, which is what made me think of that. Like the food you can get there in terms of that and 7. Okay, so yeah, we'll discuss that. Well, also we have a massive, huge flaming circleback.
What?
Huge. The astronauts have returned.
Oh my God, they can't like. It was almost kind of like, okay, well, finally, like rather than being this like celebratory, like climactic thing, it's sort of like fucking about time. Like
9 months later. I can't even believe it. I mean, I know people at home have been like following because we got sent, obviously, I have so many people have DM'd that I'm like, yes, obviously we know they're back.
Yeah,
we have been following that.
They called us first.
Right. She didn't even talk to her family. The lady astronaut, Sunny, gave us a call and was like, girls, disrespectfully, she's coming on the pod. Just kidding. I would love to have her on the pod, but she's going to be doing interviews for the next 5 years. for pretty much as long as she was in space. When I was watching them come out of the little capsule, I just couldn't stop thinking how heavy gravity probably feels to them right now.
Oh.
Imagine what they're feeling. They're in their bodies at this moment.
They're like everything's just falling out their butt.
Everything. Do you think they just went right to 7-Eleven? I bet that's probably where I'd go.
Taco Bell.
First, yeah, they went right to They're like,
She went and got a beanie.
cheesy beanie burrito, please.
Beanie cheesy burrito. What if that's what you ate when you go back? Like your stomach would fucking hate
Your
you.
entrails would fall out.
Your butthole would just open.
It would go straight back to space. That chocolate starfish is on its way out of orbit. Are you kidding? You would blow up your toilet. Anyway, the Disrespectfully family is thrilled that they are back safely, and I can't wait to hear about their experiences in time to come.
I hope the first thing they did was resign.
Yeah,
And be like, I don't even know if this goes without saying, but like, I quit.
I quit. Like,
Go fuck yourself.
big mistake, huge. Anyway, that's all I really say about that. But who is on your daddy list?
Okay, I have two things on my daddy list. One is the new Coheed and Cambria album. It is so fucking good. I have
I
not
haven't
like.
heard it yet.
There's a lot of albums like recent albums that I really really love. I think everyone's fucking crushing it, but like this album, like I listened to it and I cried. I got chills. Like it is anthemic. It is beautiful. Like you know those albums where every song it's not even that you don't feel like skipping them, but you're like, I love this song. I love this song. I
Yeah.
love every single song, and it's just I mean I've been a huge Coheed fan for like 20 years. Which feels crazy to say. I always love their like music and new music, but like this, I was just like, wow, they really fucking did the damn thing. Like it's a masterpiece, and I haven't stopped listening to it. So everyone, just go listen to it now. My second person on the daddy list is the host of Temptation Island, Mark Wahlberg, not Marky Mark, but he.
Raleigh said that exact sentence to me. She's like, Mark Wahlberg, not the one you thinking.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone's. I want to talk more about Temptation Island. I know you haven't watched it, but like at first. I was like, kind of like, what's with this guy? Like, this is the first season I watched of it, and I didn't really watch Antiques Roadshow very much, but I just was like, who's this guy? Like, what are his credentials to sit and like kind of therapize these people? But then by like the end of it, I was like, I love Mark. I want like he like really like cares. Like he's very like genuine and authentic. Like he's giving advice and he's asking people to like really look within and ask themselves hard questions and be uncomfortable. But he does it in such a way that is so like caring. I'm just like, I want like you to be like my uncle or like my dad. Like I just like it was just he was
the host of.
He's the host of Temptation Island.
No, you just said something.
Oh,
about,
Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah,
yeah.
He did that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting pivot.
He
for
looks
him.
familiar, but then I realized he looks familiar because he kind of looks like Ellen DeGeneres.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I'm watching him. I was like, this is Ellen's twin brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're painting a picture.
Yeah.
The icy hair and all.
Well, he's grayed, but he has like piercing blue eyes.
Okay.
And he just like the way he looks. I don't know. It's just.
Hold on. Let me give it a.
I have him right here. I think.
Okay. Of course you do. Let me see.
I got him popped up right here. Well, this isn't the best photograph of him.
Oh, he could be related to Ellen DeGeneres immediately.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like it's like the eyes or something.
No, they look. That is insane.
If anyone wants to
really
see.
personalized. There he is.
Allison, do you agree?
I'm gay.
No, but he looks like Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, I thought you were sorry.
No, girl, he has like fatherly qualities.
I'm
was
gay,
Ellen
Allison. I love you
I'm just
so
asking
much.
if you think he looks like Ellen DeGeneres.
I'm sorry, I don't see it.
Please do not cut that. You're keeping that in. That is so. I'm gay.
I'm gay. I was gonna sit there and be like, when people try to get my attention, they're like, "Don't you think Katie?" I'd be like, I'm gay.
I'm
I don't
gay.
know.
That's just what I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
start
I'm
going
gay.
with.
They're gonna be like, first of all, they're gonna be like,
I wish you paid attention less because that was hilarious, and I just need to hear what your brain comes
wake
up.
up. Anyway, so who's on your daddy list?
I have 3 on my daddy list today. 1, blueberry menthols. I don't need to explain that more. The post-travel shower. Is there anything better than coming home? I do it like in Monsters, Inc. when they think they've been touched by a child and they, quarantine them. My clothes come off right near the entrance, especially if I'm getting home. Shower, scrub like almost Silkwood style. And then I put those clothes immediately in the wash. And that's why I unpack, because it's mostly because I'm such a germaphobe. And but the heat of that shower after you've been in a stank ass airplane with the
Just recycled air.
the cadence of the cough that the man sitting next to me on the fucking plane ride at home was so consistent. I was like, are you a percussionist? And are you trolling me right now? Like, why don't you just come cough in my mouth directly? Like, it was just so upsetting. So yeah, got that good shower in.
I can't handle people coughing on like. Okay, well, anyways, we can talk about that in the basement.
That's in the basement. Are you kidding? It's so upsetting. You're trapped like a fucking rat. I'm gonna add this off the cuff. I'm gonna actually add a fourth. My then decompression time after traveling. I told Katya this. It doesn't even have to do with who I'm traveling with, whatever. I am someone who just cherishes being alone so much, and I don't do well when I'm constantly, and when you're traveling, you're doing stuff, and I'm so lazy and such a slug in my day to day. The whiplash of being a proactive person in society. So I always go on do not disturb when I get home from a big trip, usually for 48 hours, and I lay in bed with my cat. Laszlo was so happy to see me. She spent her time. Her sitter got a cat since my last trip. So
she's been terrorized.
And it's a kitten. And my sitter was like, yeah, I think Petunia's going to miss Laszlo, but I don't think Laszlo's going to miss Petunia because it's an actual kitten and it was driving her insane. I was like, good. Now she knows how annoying she is. So I want her to learn Humbled. But I picked her up and she immediately was like booping and snuggling. And as I slept all day, every day, she was just right there with me. And it was just fabulous. So that like decompression time is really important for me.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the book called Careless People by Sarah Wynne Williams. I have been promoting this as much as I can on social media because it's about Mark Zuckerberg and what a twat he is, and anything that is bad for him is good for us. And he is actively trying to silence this woman. She worked with him for 7 years at Facebook before it was Meta. Also, Sheryl Sandberg doesn't really paint her in a great light. And Joel Kaplan, the whole executive team of that company, read it for yourself. She's incredibly smart, talented author. And she basically created her role for herself at Facebook because she saw the way the world was trending. And I'm very impressed by her in general. Honestly, would love to have her on this podcast because I want even more of the tea. She's so cool. So it's free on Spotify Premium. If you
I'm gonna get into it, dig into it this weekend. So next week we can talk about it.
Yeah, I would love to like do a deep dive into it. So anyway, if you're looking for a new book, highly recommend.
Yes. Is that all?
That's all.
Okay, hot. I like it.
And 7-Eleven. So actually we'll circle back on that.
Let's talk about 7-Eleven because you guys know like our love for 7-Eleven. Like even just here in the States where it's like, you know, the Fritos bean dip and the hot dogs on the rolly things and like whatever else it has to offer. But if you know about 7-Elevens in Tokyo or Japan in general, you know it is essential.
The problem is the US 7-Eleven now, it's like when you've been in an abusive relationship and then you date someone who's nice and treats you well. And then you look back and you're like, why did I romanticize this horrible relationship? That's now how I feel. I look at 7-Eleven and I'm like, ugh, like the one here.
Dirty.
Okay.
But you know you're going to go back because you can't stay away.
Of course I am because I love a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
So the egg salad sandwich there, the tuna mayo onigiri, there's this bread. It looks like a Danish, but longer with mayo and corn on it, which sounds disgusting. Iconic. I had the creme brulee ice cream finally. I don't know what I'm going to do now because there are certain things I ate I'm going to have to go back, but that I will just never stop thinking about how clean they are. They have liquor. They have everything you need for a great night.
How much did you love all of their like ready to drink?
They're ready with the cool ice cups, so you could go and just throw it in an ice cup.
I know when you had the Centauri highball.
Yes.
I was like, I really want one of those right now.
Delicious, refreshing. We had all their desserts. God, everything there. And you could use your Suica card at 7-Eleven and also vending machines at the train. So it's just super convenient, but makes sense. Yeah, the 7-Eleven there did not disappoint. How many times do you think we went while I was there?
6.
Probably 7 or 8 because there was one walking distance from our place. So one night when we're so tired and we're like trying to stay up and we're like, let's go out to the bars. No, we went back to 7-Eleven and we had, I can't remember what it was called, but it was an ice cream bar with basically a chocolate bar with vanilla ice cream outside that. And then outside that, like a sugar waffle cone, you know, when you were little sugar cones.
Yeah.
Got that 6 times. Anyway, that was amazing and well worth the trip. Also, mochi donuts have changed my goddamn life. We went specifically to Mr. Donut, but then I saw at one of the 7-Elevens they had them, and I'm sure it's just as good. But it's a donut that just has a ring of mochi inside it. The gooey, chewy texture, I am telling you.
Katsuya has mochi donuts.
Here?
Yeah.
Have you had one?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go try it. Great. Okay.
Katsuya in Hollywood.
So Tony would be proud of me. One of the places that I had, we went to just a random, they didn't even have reviews on Yelp and it was we were starving and we went to these popular, Shout out to Dan Way, Ariana's boyfriend, gave me so many recommendations for food in Kyoto. We went to like almost all of them, but long waits because they're popular.
I know the one place I would have sent you to isn't open anymore, and it's so sad because it's probably the best meal I've had in my life. Like
what kind of food?
It was a samurai restaurant.
Mm.
So it was like samurais ran it, and it's like, sit on the floor, that vibe. Just Wagyu that melts in your mouth instantly. It's so good.
Well, I was so grateful for him, but one of the days I was just getting fussy because I was tired and hungry and we'd been out all day, and I went to this ramen place. Katya ended up going to a fish market, so we did our own thing, and I just risked my biscuit, and it seemed really local, and it was top 3 meals I had while I was there. It was a ramen place, but it was just like top ramen from when we were little, but elevated. So it was like and it was cold that day. It was just so comforting. And I think I asked Katya, like they marinate the soft boiled eggs in soy sauce or something, I think, because they're always like
brown,
a little brown. Yeah. But the jammy, I am really picky about eggs. I don't really like them. And it's a perfect consistency and like
jammy egg.
Yeah, jammy egg.
Ooh. Do you know that they also have a cup noodles museum there, and you can like make your own cup noodles?
No, but that's incredible.
Said somewhere in Japan or Tokyo, but because my friend Buddy, who I don't know if you've met,
I think I have.
maybe.
Musician?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But he's in Sense.
Yeah.
I want him to come on our podcast.
No, I met him on the cruise.
Yes.
Didn't I? Yeah. No, I met him.
I was like, I feel like you have somewhere, but I'm trying to think of like the show. I forgot about the cruise, but yeah. So he's been in there in Japan with his family, and they went. I was like, there's a museum where like they like wrap it in the plastic. It's like you make your own cup noodles.
You can bring it back.
Yes.
Oh my God, amazing! I thought you'd have to eat it there.
No, it's like dried. It's just like a cup noodle normally. That was a really big thing, like very core memory, very important from my childhood growing up. Cup noodles.
Oh my God, are you kidding? Well, if I had to choose one, it would have been top ramen. Were you more of a cup noodle? I ate both incessantly.
I like a cup noodle because when in the wintertime, I didn't ski or snowboard for most of my life growing up, but I went to the ice rink, and there was Food for Thought corner store right next to the ice rink, and I would get a Surge. Do you remember those? The drink?
No.
Soda?
I don't know if I've ever had one.
It's called Surge, and it was like a highly caffeinated drink beverage, and a cup noodle and a pack of Now and Laters.
Now and Laters.
Or Mambas. Sometimes it depended.
Ugh.
So, and that's just like core memory. I'd also get that at 7-Eleven. I just get at the grocery store.
Love.
I'm just like dehydrated on the inside from all the dehydrated noodles.
Oh, I was like so swollen. Also, the amount I was eating and different.
You like
I'm
barely make a fist.
No, I'm like maybe I'll get top ramen on the way home. I did make mac and cheese and hot dogs last night as a comfort, like a at home food, and I ate every fucking noodle, and usually I try not to because I put 2.5 hot dogs in it. So I ate 2.5 hot dogs, an entire box of mac. If you think about it.
Damn.
Actually, really quick, 2 more highlights. If you go Team Lab Planet, do not miss it.
So good.
It was so good,
It's like
so
all
cool.
the cool light installations, and like just
and huge. And like, and you walk around in water.
It's immersive,
which
So
I had a little. With my germiness, we had to walk barefoot through opaque water that other people were walking barefoot through, so I had a real problem. But then I got over it, and it was really cool. The deers in Nara, I got to see, which was a day trip from Kyoto. They were so cute and so violent. When you had the cookies that they wanted, they sell those little crackers you give them. They fucking smell. It's like blood in the water with sharks. They know, and I have a video of them attacking me because like I couldn't do it delicately. They head ram you. They hoof you. They bite your butt. Like they are looking for the cookies. So they're fun to look at, but it's scary to interact with. Last thing I'll say about Japan, the street style. I really appreciated walking around and just seeing how cool everyone was dressed.
Cool there.
Effortless.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Switching gears pretty quickly. Have you been watching
Speaking of islands.
White Lotus?
Oh, well, actually also an island, I think.
Well, yeah. And also, okay, I want to talk about Temptation Island, but first I just have I don't want to like unpack the whole season. It's been pretty whatever. There's moments that I like. I appreciate it, but it's not like seasons before where I'm just loving all of it.
I got caught up last night. So what's your thoughts?
Okay, well, I know everyone's talking about Sam Rockwell, whatever his character's name is, when he's just like just telling his story to Rick Walton what's his name?
Daniel Boggins.
Walton Boggins, his character Rick, and he's just talking about how he's gotten sober because I realized I just wanted to be an Asian girl getting fucked by me, and like just with the earnesty, I just want to know how many times they busted up laughing because Walton's face the entire time, he's like, just you can just know what he's thinking because you're thinking the same thing, and that's the exact face you make.
Both acting in that scene was impeccable. Like, because he was doing such a good job of someone who would be taking that information on as a guy. Because I feel like as me, I'd be like, yes, like tell me more, like what happened. But like a guy to guy, if you don't know that about your friend, and I mean, he's like, sometimes I was getting fucked in the ass 3-4 times a night, 3 different guys, and like
sometimes I was paying them to fuck me,
and I was paying this. Yeah, he's like a cuck basically to watch me getting fucked in the ass by this guy. And he's doing such a good job of taking the information in. And Sam Rockwell is so good in that scene. Also, him and Leslie Bibb married in real life. Had no idea.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Him and Wes's bestie, Leslie Bibb, married in real life.
Leslie Bibb. I mean, I appreciate the also how he captures the dynamic between those 3 women.
That is hard for me to watch.
It is.
Like it is
hard because you don't want to be called out on that. But like, you know what? That's like how it is.
100%.
With friends who have been friends for a long time, or people that like they're friends from a certain time in life, you know, I don't know, where it's just like you really love and appreciate them, but like you're just not exactly the same. Not that you need to be the same, but like, you know, when they found out that she was a Trump supporter and things like that, like you know, those little things. And then there's just like little jealousies and cattiness about what people are at in life and what they have, and you compared obviously to yourself. But the other fucking dynamic is the brothers.
Okay, so I heard before I got caught up on it online, everyone's like, spoiler alert, fast forward 30 seconds if you haven't, well, we already spoiled things, but that they kiss. It was very out of context for me. So in that context, it's still weird and like incesty and gross. But like I thought that they were alone in their hotel room and started just like hooking up.
No,
so it was
the context still for me. I'm just like, it's fucking gross.
No, it's gross
also
and weird,
because
but it
the brother
definitely is
like
different than what I thought
can't
it
tell
was
if the
going to
brother
be.
is like in love with him. Obviously, he's unsure. I don't know, but like that scene isn't over either.
Yeah, I mean, but again, so when I first heard, again, still I'm not, it's gross, but I just was like, I thought it was going to be something different, and maybe that's what it's going to turn into. But when I saw it, what I took from it is it seemed like the younger one, Locke, was the one who was like, something was interested. But what I took away from that scene is the older one was like, I think something was happening in his brain. That was like,
no, and I'm just like, dude, it's not like it's not that just another guy. That's your brother.
Totally.
Your brother.
Totally.
Anyway.
Also, I love that they make him like the most least likable person. He does a really good job at just being the worst person you've ever met. The older brother.
I know he's supposed to be, but I'm just like, you're just like every time he comes on, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. And it's designed to be that way, but
I know.
It's just yuck. And what I was going to say, I think the 3 girls, they do a good job of showing the triangulation between a friendship that probably shouldn't continue. So it's like you said, like friends that have known each other for a long time that have outgrown each other or moved in different paths that are still holding on to like the nostalgia of just because we've been friends for X amount of years. Whereas sometimes it's like, it's okay to leave friendships in the past
and have people appreciate you on the journey that you're on, and not be judging you at every turn, you know, because when they're like the one Jacqueline who's like the actress, they're like, she's like really vain, and it's like, well, her job is a very appearance based type thing. And then, you know, the other one who's like divorced, I don't know,
the lawyer,
they're like, oh, she's like, they look at her like she's sad, and then the other one thinks she has it all going on, but like they're judging the hell out of her for her life choices.
No, it's crazy. Each time one of them does something, you wait for the other two to like just give the eyes. Though we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, but I
thought the lawyer was going to have her MMF, and I felt really sad about that for her.
I know,
like,
because and you all know the friend. You also have the friend that's like trying to encourage you to hook up with a guy, but then ends up hooking up with them.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too, in the way that she would have been judging her if the lawyer had in fact had her MMF, male, female. If you don't know,
we know people like that. I'm thinking one person in particular.
Yeah, and then do it themselves. So I'm like, okay, well,
that's one thing. But there's a couple of episodes left, so I'm excited. But yeah, so the other thing I want to talk about is Temptation Island, because I don't think you've watched it, but like we watched it all in like 3 days.
I haven't watched a single second of it. I don't think I've ever, unless I've with Raleigh. But so tell me, what are your thoughts for people who have watched?
People that don't know, basically Temptation Island, 4 couples who are like, you know, at a crossroads in their relationship go to Temptation Island to see if they, you know, need to prove that they can be trustworthy, which is the concept is so ridiculous. Like the girls and the guys separate. They go live in their villa and the guys live in their villa. And then there's 12 single like men and women that go and stay with them. And so they're supposed to be mingling, making connections, going on dates. But the whole time they're like, they technically still have a boyfriend or girlfriend. So it's like this like weird thing of like, is it cheating or is this a hall pass moment where, you know, a lot of them have rules and boundaries that get broken immediately, which is like, obviously, you know, they'll be talking before they separate. A couple being like, well, why are you here? Well, you know, he's cheated on me a couple times in the past. They're 23. They've been together a year. I'm like,
oh God.
It's like, it's hard to like fully invest in their journey, but then you end up investing because there's people like there's one girl, Taylor, who had serious like abandonment issues. And it was so sad to like listen to her talk because I think it's something we can all relate to, just being like, am I ever going to be good enough for somebody? And she has such a like growth that happens, and you see her just like really gain so much confidence. So it's like you really start to like connect with these people. And then you got Mark, who's just is like giving out the best like advice and encouragement.
Mark DeGeneres.
Mark DeGeneres.
So, you know, I've been watching ER, obviously.
And I'm watching The Pit.
And you're watching You know who could use some of our next sponsor?
Every one of those doctors.
Probably all of them. The whole team.
Yeah.
The whole medical staff. They need to chill out. They need to relax.
Just relax. Take a load off. I think they could really use some Soul. You know what I mean?
I think so too.
Well, this podcast is sponsored by Soul. Soul's new out-of-office beverages are perfectly microdosed with hemp-derived THC and CBD to give any situation that vacation vibe.
And astrologically speaking, these past couple weeks have been a little crazy. So I've been in desperate need of out-of-office THC beverage, raspberry lemonade, and it's been a game changer. I have been drinking those things.
Oh,
I'm a new person.
Huge fan. You know what else is a game changer?
What?
Legality.
We love the law.
Hot. Did you know hemp-derived THC products are federally legal? Because of the 2018 Farm Bill, hemp-derived THC is now legal and accessible nationwide. I can't believe I didn't know that you could just like buy THC products online like this.
Well, that's what the internet was made for. That and funny memes. The out-of-office beverage not only come in 2 mouth-watering flavors, raspberry lemonade and cucumber melon lime, they also offer 2 different doses, 2.5 milligrams THC and 5 milligram THC. Feel the freedom to choose with 6, 12, or 24 packs, so you can drink your THC any way you like. And there's so many combinations. It's limitless. It's like a Rubik's Cube.
Out-of-office beverages gives you that warm, fuzzy, euphoric microdose feeling without sending you to the moon. So come home from work, get cozy, crack open a Soul, turn on The Pit, zone out, and just have like a really incredible evening. So cute.
That sounds like the best night in the entire world. Can I come over and join?
Yeah, we did that the other night.
Well, okay.
It was great.
Great. Love.
Whether you're looking for a sleep aid, enhanced focus, or pain relief, Soul has your wellness needs covered. Plus, all of Soul's products are grown right here in the USA, organically farmed, and gluten-free.
So if you want to feel your best, head to getsoul.com and use code disrespectfully for 30% off your order. That's 30% off your order using code disrespectfully. One more time for the cheap seats in the back. Getsoul.com and use code disrespectfully for 30% off.
Did you sleep okay last night?
No.
I know,
What do you think?
That is always the worst question. But I don't know. Sometimes like sleep like a champion. I slept great, but I also slept in too much longer. I've been praying to sleep in longer, and then it finally happened on the day that I had to get up early.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. I sleep like a champion once in a blue moon between 7 a.m. and 11. It's a nightmare.
I know. And you had the car alarm going off last night.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm late once today because of it?
Here's the thing about sleep.
What about it?
I know you're gonna hate this. It's the foundation of whole body health.
I know. I'm like, I might as well keep.
That's why
smoking it up.
we're coming apart at the seams.
Mm-hmm.
When we sleep well, our minds and bodies perform at their best. Never quite performed at my best. Good sleep is both mental and physical, and our daily performance depends on it.
It's so important. Proper sleep can also increase focus, boost energy, and improve your mood. All 3 things that are just, I don't have right now.
Well, that's why we are so excited to talk about Beam's Dream Powder, a science-backed healthy hot cocoa for sleep. This product has single-handedly changed the way I sleep for the better. I love a little like bedtime cocktail that's just gonna like help me drift off to dreamland.
You do love that. This bedtime essential is so decadent, totally guilt-free, and available in delicious flavors like sea salt caramel, brownie batter, vanilla chai, and the Beam Dream Powder original flavor, cinnamon cocoa. Each serving is only 15 calories and 0 grams of sugar. We can say this with confidence, better sleep has never tasted better.
No.
And I've tried everything. I would know.
Dream is tested for high quality efficacy and formulated to ease your body into rest, supporting all 4 stages of the sleep cycle to help you fall asleep and stay asleep longer.
Other sleep aids can cause next day grogginess, but Dream contains a powerful all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed.
If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, get up to 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/disrespectfully and use code disrespectfully at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/disrespectfully and use code disrespectfully for up to 40% off. There's one couple, like, it's everything's online, so I'm not spoiling, but this is a spoiler alert. His name was Lino and her name's Alexa. And they're both like so still committed to the journey, but still trying to open themselves up. They don't cheat or anything like that. But then he ends up proposing to her at the end because she was like wanting him to take that next step. And so like, but I really felt like proud. I will say, and this will be part of my basement. There's a couple guys on there who are fucking unforgivable.
Okay. You have to tell me more about it. Do all the other men cheat?
Most of them, yeah. One of them, okay, this guy.
And to be fair, do the women? I'm being fair. I'm asking about both groups. Do the women?
The women, once they see, because then they have bonfires every week where they see clips of like what their person has been up to. So
that sounds horrible. To imagine getting cheated on, but then having to actually watch.
And then knowing that millions and millions of people are going to watch. It is humiliating. I've been there. And so, yeah, it's fucking embarrassing. So you go into like heavy state of denial. But I think, the whole premise is like to connect with people and I like that. But it's funny how they talk about how they haven't crossed any lines, but they're like scantily clad, cuddling, holding hands in a pool with they're like, but I don't want to cross the line. I'm like, babe, where's the line anymore? Is the line in the room with us? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's part of it, So the girls didn't really go for it until like they found out that the guys were, there's this one couple, Taylor the girl, Tyler the guy. And when he met her, he just recently got divorced and like pretty much started in a relationship with her like right after. And he'd been with that person since he was like 18.
It's usually a good solid foundation.
Yeah. Like
immediately get into a relationship
there's
with
no
someone
time for grass to even grow before you got. And then, so while he's not even out of his relationship, he's like, I'm falling in love with this girl. I'm like, this is red flag danger. Like you're just going right into like talking about how you're falling in love with somebody when you came here with a girlfriend 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I know people like that. Like, literally they kind of start cheating with someone else and then make sure it's like they like them and then they end the other relationship. And like people that do that,
I've had that happen to me. But it's like I feel like most women know that feeling.
And I know that, listen, there's no timeline for when you date or what, like it's like, and people will argue with that, but I think it's sort of like when you're ready. But I think I will say there's something about someone who has never spent any time on their own. Like they're just lacking like self-worth, self-identity, like all of that. It's just so
huge red flag for me.
And
I mean,
then
me at my big age, I would never date someone who was immediately out of a serious relationship and had gone after relationship. It's like the odds of that working out are slim to none.
This one guy, Brian, he has a really good arc that happens with his like journey and everything like that, but he has this really sweet girlfriend who basically cried the whole time. I was devastated. And he couldn't stop talking about threesomes and how he's super sexual, like he's that guy, and ends up having a threesome. And of course she sees it. Like they're in the bathroom, but they can still hear the mic. And at one point it's like wet slapping and you hear like
oh no.
Yeah. And then he's like, I found out that that's not what I need. I don't need to have threesomes. I figured it out now. And he's like, yeah, so of course she could forgive me because now I can let her know, like, that's not what's important to me. She's what's important to me. I'm like, and at first you're like, what the mental gymnastics that this man is doing, like, he probably pulled a muscle. I couldn't, like, the shit that was coming out of his mouth, I'm like, you have to be fucking kidding me.
Well, in a threesome, he probably pulled a couple muscles too, physically.
Yeah. But he's, not only is he getting called out by women in the house, at one point they send video messages. And so his girlfriend, Shantae, like, tells him, because he said, I don't regret it. I don't know. This is who I am. Like, I'm an honest person. This is my life. I'm honest about how I live my life. And he's talking about how he, wants a godly woman. It's just, but you find out stuff about his childhood is really sad. I'm like, oh, you're just damaged, deeply wounded person who has not sought professional help. But anyways, I was crying watching it and I didn't think so. Cause Nick and I were like, we need like something trashy to throw into like the 1883, The Pit, like watches that we're doing, just something just lighthearted. And we were like looking at each other, both like tearing eye, and we're like, what this show? But shockingly, a lot of heart, a lot of depth
Love.
with a
So
lot of people who are dum-dums.
did they end up together did anyone else besides the proposal couple? They all break up.
No,
Yeah, I would
but-
assume so. That would be so hard to watch.
Because you could pick to leave together, leave alone, or leave with someone new.
Did anyone leave with the new person?
Yeah. The one guy who I'm falling in love, and he is such a chooch. Like, I can't stand him, Tyler. Like, he just, because his girlfriend was like, I want you to like have a plan. You haven't had a job. He's like, I don't want to be emasculated and pushed. That's not where I'm at right now. It's like, babe, you're 28. It's not cute that you don't have
That's
a job.
not where you're at. That's a part of being a member of society. What are you talking about?
And a good partner to somebody. Like, so you think Kate eventually is not going to be like, oh, so like you really just have no motivation. Like, this is where you're at. Like, just somebody who's just he wants to be like a model, I think. Ugh.
Well, your time is up. Models, what are you talking about? This day and age, that's just
Well,
how they are.
unfortunately, men can like have a very fruitful modeling career well into their like 60s.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Like,
sorry. I forgot that was just for us. Well,
Yep.
the thing is, being 28, I think there's something happening in our generation, and I have experienced a lot of this in dating, and it is a lot of the time with men, not to say there aren't women that are fuckboys and whatever, but like we have been conned into thinking that 28 is a child and that like a 35-year-old or like that men start maturing at 40, even if that's biologically what it is. We need to be holding people accountable. That's actually insane. Like you're 28, yes, you are still very young, but like if you're in a
Yeah.
long-term partnership and
well,
needing to hold up your end of things.
I think as long as you're willing to learn the lessons that you're faced with, like failures in life and those types of things, like you will grow and you're always going to continue growing as long as you're looking like that. People that don't want to take accountability and responsibility for things in their lives, like soul searching, like call it what it is. Don't say like, I don't want to be forced to have a job right now. Okay, fine. If you're really trying to figure out what your path is, that's cool. But when somebody's like, you need to contribute to the household, I'm not just going to be your mother and pay you everything for you and take care of you. And like, that's not hot when that happens. So like, there's that part of it. But also I do think looking back on where I was at 28 versus where I'm at 39 now, like world of it, like
Totally.
you know, so I think, yeah, sometimes when people are in relationships and they're not fully mature, like the Lino and Alexa, like they were the only couple too that came in saying, we didn't give each other any rules or boundaries. I think they
Wow.
had such a deep foundation of trust and trust to not do anything, but also trust the person to respect them and like handle this like really maturely. And they did. Like it was really fascinating to watch them versus the other people, the only two that didn't put any rules on each other.
Wow. Well, I also don't think it necessarily helps cheating if you're like, please don't cheat on me, you know? And I understand
Well,
it's
yeah.
a show and it's a, unique situation, but I don't know. I just think also be wary.
The point is just to be tempted, not to actually give in to it.
Right. But you need to be aware of people who also are just looking for a mommy. Like, I think that people do grow up, both men and women, but I think a lot of times when, in terms of like, okay, he doesn't have a job, so someone who you're going to be, just the financial support, but then they're looking, like, I hate when I see a video of a guy being like, where are traditional women who are cooking and cleaning and like so much of that
in 1950, that's where
yeah,
they are.
what are you talking about? Do you have a time machine? That's back where they were, and they're also on lithium, so they don't know what's fucking going on. Like, I just think that it's so interesting the way, and I'm not even saying this specifically about the show. I just think in the real world right now, there's so much of that people just still want mommies, and it's like, do you want mommies or do you want a partner?
I want a partner. That's why it's like, I know my strengths. I can't really do much for you in the kitchen, but maybe in other areas, I absolutely can. So, either no one's cooking for anyone or you got to cook for me. I can make some things. Like, there's maybe like a pasta I can make for you. But if you want to make me breakfast every day, I won't say mad. No,
I can't build a fucking shelf. What am I supposed to do with wood and
That's the thing.
nails?
I can build.
Injure myself.
I
See?
can build. So
that's not for
if
me.
a man, if he's feeling like he and like gender roles, throw it out the window over this right now. Like, oh, a man should build. Maybe he's just not good at it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I think that is one thing that sounds pretty standard on par, that I can't build things, but I also can't like fold a fitted sheet. So maybe you can do that. I don't know.
Yeah, amen to that.
Okay, well maybe I'll give it a watch. It's not as much my thing. Obviously, it's much more Raleigh's thing, but
I didn't think so. I mean, because I like Love Island. I like Love is Blind. I do, but like sometimes those are boring and hard to watch. Like this past season of Love is Blind.
did
was
anyone finish that? Is
painfully
it
boring.
out all the way?
Yeah,
Is it finished?
I watched the
Okay.
reunion.
Did
It's-
any of them stay together?
Yes, the ones that got married. There's only two
Wow,
people that got married, or a couple.
Yeah, that was some milquetoast ass shit if I've ever seen it.
dude, just like everyone, and it was fascinating because it's like they all like knew each other because they live in a small, big city. You know, they all go to the same bars. They all see each other out. So whatever, but they just were so like, so boring. It was so vanilla. It was so just like.
Did it prove that there's the only bit I saw of it, obviously not at my own home, but the one girl was like confronting a guy saying like, I think you knew who I was before we came in here.
They got married. They ended up having a wonderful like
Shut the fuck up. Oh, did it prove true that he did know?
No, she her like little app that showed that, you know, she couldn't. And some people are like, I think she maybe had seen him on like Tinder or something, because I think on his Tinder account he had like the picture that she was speaking of. So like, she was just kind of misremembering from where she. But it's like, who cares? Everyone was like accusing her of being like, you just aren't physically attracted to him, and that sometimes can happen because like when you build up an expectation or idea of someone in your head and then they just end up not meeting that exactly, but it doesn't mean that the connection still isn't there. So I think her giving herself the opportunity to still get to know him and still, you know, she was able to look past it because again, she's like not super tall, but he isn't either. Yeah. I think he was like 5'8" or something. And she was like,
do you think, obviously not you're in a relationship, but take that out of it right now. Do you think you could ever do Love is Blind? Like
no.
that kind of, I couldn't. I just know myself. There's no fucking way.
I like, in theory, the concept is beautiful, but the show's proven that love is in fact not blind.
Yeah, I think we've talked
These
about
people
that.
turn into monsters. Like in the pods, everyone's like putting their best foot forward, their best impression, and then they get out of those pods and they're terrible fucking people. I mean, that's the truth with anything, you know, but like, it's just this show specifically has attracted just real scumbags.
Someone online was like, Love is Blind, but it's all men, and instead of them dating, it's a therapist. And I'm like, wow, that is how we win. That is how we do it. That's how we take down the patriarchy.
Sign them up. Sign them up.
Get them therapized.
And then you find out even more of like on social media because the person's like, everyone wants to come and speak for it. I know this person. I dated this person. You just find out how scummy they actually are.
Yeah.
Like the guy Ben, who's like the Christian boy that goes to church and prays every 5 seconds, is a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Really was trying to put an image out there. I'm like, you know, that doesn't work. You know, when you try to, you know, present yourself or think that, you know, you can fool people, it backfires all the time.
Scumbags. That sounds like a good segue to the basement.
It is.
Should we basement it up? It's been too long. I feel backed up.
Breon and Grant and Tyler, pretty much all of them, in Temptation Island are in the fucking basement. Just children, terrible examples of men who just want to be the victim so bad. Well, you know what? She was mean to me. Well, you cheated on her a few times. And she had a hard time letting it go. And I'm sure you were trying to convince her that you weren't, or that, you know, you were belittling her feelings and invalidating her feelings. So it's called reactive abuse. So that's basement. And the other one similar to you is just people's lack of self-awareness in public spaces, AKA like just open mouth coughing. It's fucking gross. I was at Disneyland earlier this week and just people, just you walk by, they're like, and you're just like, you just coughed in my face.
Crazy.
Like listen, COVID was a while ago, but it also, we're not so far from it that we can't remember like just to throw a bow over our face. Like people were scared to cough in public and now people are just like letting it rip.
Which is wild because even before COVID, I've always been of this family of the elbow. And like, I can't imagine just like doing that just with not even trying. No, it's crazy.
Just, and people that just like fart on planes, cough on planes. Like they act like nobody, like it's not disruptive to anybody. Like go to the fucking bathroom, cough, get it out of your, whatever you need to do. Go take a shit if that's why you keep farting.
Oh, like, I was getting crop dusted all the way from Japan back to Los Angeles. I bet it was the cadence cougher too. I bet every time he coughed, he tooted.
One video, someone was like, the guy, he's like, whoever is farting, you need to stop. It smells really bad. I want to do that sometimes.
That's what I was suffering through. I'm like, cover your mouth and cover your asshole. Like, please go poop. You obviously need to go potty so bad.
If that's happening to me, immediately I always have the feeling of like, oh, it's time to go to the bathroom. I'm just gonna sit there and like fart.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, you don't like that word.
I know I don't, but regardless,
fluff toot.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Anyway, but yeah, if you're just someone that just is coughing in public, nonstop, farting, just clearing your throat, and like first of all, I've been there in this room clearing my throat, but like when not an airplane where it's a closed space where people can't get away from you, you get away from them.
Yeah,
and go do that. Basement. Anyways, what's in your basement? Who's in your basement?
Getting rear-ended is my basement. Just in general, again, it's accidents happen, but it's just the worst. by the time this comes out, I fear that this will be too long gone, but I saw it in Japan and literally wrote it down because it made me so mad. This dingbat influencer went to Australia and ripped a baby wombat off of its mother and ran away with it in the video and was laughing, and the wombat is in the background losing its mind. You can tell how under duress it is. You're like, kidnapped its baby. And then she gave it back. But I feel like it's a pretty universal rule that you don't touch baby animals when they have a mother nearby because they can reject them then if the scent or whatever.
Yeah, with any animals, I think it's like, especially babies. Yeah.
Don't touch the babies ever. And it's just so the disrespect. But Australians, I actually will put in the daddy list actually, because they have been, someone made a rap song about it. I don't know if he was the prime minister or whoever came out and was like, you see, very disrespectful, and she's been banned from the country and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Girthmaster's mad. I haven't heard from him about it, but people were up in arms. Disgusting. Do not touch baby animals.
I did, however, see a video once. Did I talk about the sloths? Sloths are so fucking cute,
You
man.
did.
They are. And then the baby they gave, but they were in the road.
Yeah, no, okay. If there's extenuating circumstances, but if you're doing it for pleasure
Yeah,
and not
no.
for,
And I mean, the sloth they were both aware of what was happening and they were being helped. So I think they let it go.
yeah, I think if you're helping the animal, but if you're just taking it to drunkenly do that and you're just some gross influencer, and also
Basement.
people have enough reason to hate Americans, please don't add to that list. Wombat theft would definitely go on it. Finally, for me, people on TikTok who have a list behind them on a green screen and they won't move their fucking dome because they want you to engage. Here's the thing. Move your fucking head. Let me take a read. And then if I'm interested, I'm going to stay and engage with your video. If you do that, skip immediately and I'll probably block you. It makes me so mad. I'm like, move your head. We know what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Or do they just not realize it? Did they not know?
No, it's much more nefarious than that. They know. And other people who will do part twos in the day and age that you have a 10-minute opportunity, immediate way to get blocked for me.
Do you know what's also my basement?
What?
When people do tell a story like that, like crazy, and there's not a part two, and they're like, oh, I did not expect that to go viral. Everyone's been asking for a part two. I'm going to get that for you later. But I just thought I'd real quickly just like answer some questions that a lot of people had. And it's like, you sit there and you're like, I got zero information out of this. Like, did you even have a part two? Did you make this up? Like, it is so infuriating. And I think more people are catching on to that. So hopefully that behavior knocks off.
Well, guess what? It's just like in cinema, the sequel is never as good as the original. So if you stop making multiple fucking parts, just tell me in one story. And also when they're like starting to tell a story and then they stop and they're like, by the way, my name is such and such. I'm this person. Go ahead and smash that follow button. I'm blocking you.
Oh, I mean,
I will never see your face again.
That's when I know that I was like, this story's made up.
This is creepypasta. This is not this. You found this on Reddit somewhere. You're a fucking liar.
Yep.
And have no internet integrity.
No.
Anyway, God, move your goddamn head. That's my basement.
Move your head. Anyways, and also stop farting in public.
Stop with the toots. Also, if you want to be on our daddy list, go ahead and rate us 5 stars. Go ahead and smash that 5-star button.
Yeah.
Give us a written review and tell your friends. Tell your like-minded friends about
daddy
us.
when you share this podcast with your friends.
So fucking daddy.
So daddy. Anyway.
Well, I think that's it. Welcome back to you.
Welcome back to you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.